is August 11th, 2021, and this is a meeting of the Board of Library Trustees. The time is 3:30. We have present with us myself, Joanne Geneva, the chair, Heather Dennis, Aiden, I'm blank, Aiden.
Heffernan.
It's been a long day. Betsy Perry and Shannon Duffy. Okay. If I could remember who I am, we can start the meeting. So, we will
Can we
begin.
erase that and start over again? Anyways.
No. It's the fun part of it. So our previous meeting minutes from May 19th were approved, and so we now move on to the minutes from June.
No, we have to do both of them. We didn't do May last time. That's why they're
Okay.
both here.
It says here previous minutes approved were the April minutes, so we have to do May.
Yes, we have to do May
Okay.
and June.
So, does anyone have any issues with the May 19th minutes? Hearing nothing, I will make a motion to approve the minutes from May 19th as written.
I'll second.
Okay. And you were both here for the May meeting? So in that case, we can all vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Seeing none, we will approve them unanimously. And so next we move on to the June 16th meeting minutes. Does anyone have any issues with or questions about the June 16th meeting minutes? Okay, I will make a motion to approve those minutes as written.
My second.
And Aiden, since you were absent, you have to abstain from voting for this one, so all in favor?
Yep.
Aye. Okay, those were approved by those eligible to do so. And now we can move on to our reports for today's meeting.
Nope. I get a reorg.
Reorg first. All right, so we have to reorganize our board. Does anyone want to? I will volunteer to stay as chair if no one else wants the position.
Doesn't make a difference to me.
And secretary.
Do you want to be secretary or you want me to remain secretary, Heather?
I'm comfortable doing it, but if you want to keep it.
Please, I've done it for 2 years in a row. Please, I'll
Okay.
pass the torch.
All right. So that means that Heather, you will become the secretary, and Aiden, you will become the member at large.
You guys want to actually
We have to
nominate
vote
us?
on this?
Yeah, because I nominate the slate of.
Yes,
that and
so,
then vote on it.
all right, so we'll nominate the slate of Joanne Geneva Chair, Heather Dennis Secretary, Aiden Heffernan as member at large.
All right, so it's a first from you, so somebody can second it.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye, all right. Accepted unanimously. In that case,
Thank you.
it's your turn, Betsy. It's your turn, Shannon.
Hi. All right. So, way back in June, we held six in-person kids programs. It was very exciting. We had 191 people in attendance. It was awesome. We also made 114 kids craft kits. And that rounded out our 2021 fiscal year. So in total, for the fiscal year 2021, we had 159 events, and we had a total of 1,093 people in attendance. Now, because of the world being weird, we were asked this year for statistical purposes to break those larger numbers down based on in-person and virtual. So below that, I have broken that down further. We had 13 in-person events, and we had 321 people in attendance for those 13 events. And then we had 146 virtual events, and we had 772 people in attendance for those virtual events for children. Yeah, it's a little wonky,
Yes.
but
So that's a new way the state is having us report our numbers, and it actually breaks it down further, but it is extremely granular and not interesting. So going forward, we're doing that. They were okay with, like, last year if we didn't fix all our numbers that way, but starting from July 1, we're tallying them this way.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, I got really close. Sorry. So, new fiscal year, exciting. Fiscal year 2022. In July, we had 19 in-person kids programs, 4 of which we had to cancel because of rain, because our in-person events are outside at the moment, or they were. But we still had 290 people in attendance. We had 1 virtual Art of Science program, and we had 15 participants for that. And then we had 169 kids craft kits for the month of July. We are continuing our outdoor story time on Wednesdays at 10:30 outside on the common, weather permitting. We're going to just keep doing that until it's basically unfeasible to do it because of the weather. We have a good amount of attendance for that. We fluctuate anywhere from about 20 to 35-ish people, depending on the day. And it's good. It's going well. We just finished a round of Deb Hudgens. We were having her come outside. We had 3 days of her. We tried to get all Mondays, but then it would rain and we'd have to reschedule. But everyone was pretty accommodating for that, which was good. I'm trying really hard to book yoga for the fall with children outside. It's just logistically like, how about this time? Oh, you're booked already that time. What about this time? But we're working on it. For teens and tweens, in July, we had a tie-dye event, which we had like 7 teens signed up for, maybe 9-ish, but then it told me it was going to rain, so I canceled it, or I moved it, and then a bunch of people had to drop out because it was no longer feasible for them. But I still had 3. I had 3 whole teenagers. It was very exciting. We tie-dyed outside. This evening, we're doing a teen paint night. We were going to do it outside, but we decided to move it inside, mostly because it was a small enough group that I could, and it's oppressively hot outside. Like, it is gross. So we're going to do that inside. Teenagers are much better about socially distancing where appropriate, so we're comfortable with the small group to be like, okay, just stay in your space. So that's exciting. We had 79 teen and adult craft kits in July, and that brings our total number of craft kits since we started doing this at the beginning of COVID to almost 2,600 craft kits. Almost. We've probably actually gone beyond that at this point because we've got Elliot downstairs mass producing more, but God bless that man. Speaking of, we are booming with volunteers this month. I have at least 5 different teens right now who are coming in and just doing slave labor, which is great, for the month of August. And that's not even including, I had a group from Mass Academy come, and they very willingly started organizing my Legos by color, which is a much bigger endeavor than I thought it was going to be. I have a lot of Legos, but I'm excited about that. They used to just be in giant tubs that we would dump onto the floor,
Wow.
and everyone would just sort of attack them however they want. But that's not really a feasible thing anymore. So we're going to organize them by color. We are going to start Lego Club back up in September in a much more organized fashion than it used to be, just so we can maintain who's touching what. And because my Legos will now be organized by color, which is very exciting. And as far as summer reading goes, we've got, it ends this Saturday. You have until Saturday evening to get your tickets in virtually. There are no physical tickets. You do it all online. Right now, we have 314 people signed up. You can still sign up, though. You get 5 tickets just for registering, and it is a raffle, so even if you just have 1 ticket, you still have a chance to win. The computer does it, not me, so no bias. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, that's what I got. Any questions, concerns?
Did, I thought, a couple months ago you had talked a lot about joining up with possibly like the state parks and doing a program there.
Oh,
Did
yes,
that-
we did do that.
You
We
did?
did have a
Okay.
story walk. It was 3 weeks long, I believe. It's already down now. It ended the last week of July. It was basically it went from like July 6th until the 27th or something like that. It was lots of fun. I have no way of knowing statistically how many people participated. I know some people did because it was it was part of Summer Reading Challenge. So if you did it at the end of the walk, there was a code to get tickets. So there are people who have done it because they have the tickets, and I can see that.
Sure.
I had to go there once a week to check on it and make sure everything was still fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was lots of fun. It was really cute. Even though there was just puddles and puddles of water, because this has been the rainiest July ever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was lots of fun. We didn't really have to do anything. I was really, I was kind of let down by how little I had to do. I was like, oh, okay, you got it. But it was fun.
Good.
I have to pass along that I received a wonderful compliment about your story hours
Oh.
and how animated and wonderful you are and how you keep the kids' attention. And also that we have the best craft kits of a lot of places where they've tried to find things to do for the little ones.
Oh.
So they were very impressed with our craft kits.
Oh, thank you. Betsy puts a lot of hard work into those craft kits.
Yeah. So,
I
good
know.
work. And it's appreciated. Any other comments or questions? All right, we can move on to Betsy.
All right, so I've got a lot because I've got a lot because it's been 2 months. A lot of meetings, which I don't have to go down because they're mostly boring. Adult programs are plugging along. Writing group met. They had a small turnout, but that was fine. We had planned when would be a good time for them to come in and meet, and so July was good. And we knew that they'd be a controlled group, so that was fine. They should be meeting tomorrow night. I don't usually communicate much with them, so we'll see. Book groups are taking August off. They're going to continue outside for the fall. And we had a virtual Libby training with a small group of people, but somebody who attended said it was very good. So that was good. We rescheduled our magician till last night because it was gross last week. We had about 70 people, so that was good.
Nice.
Yeah, for something that we had to change the date, that was nice. And then tomorrow night we have a band, and then next week. So we'll see. Our plan, I'm going to diverge here. Our plan for the fall, which we've been talking about extensively, and we've run it by Cheryl Rowinski, the nurse. So we are going to keep what we can outside, do some smallish things inside. I'll bring back adult crafts, but we're talking max 8 people at a time, because those are things that you had to register for anyway. And we feel comfortable with 8 adults in that room at a time. And Shannon's going to try it with teens too, the same kind of deal where we have a max of about 8. Story time will stay outside. She's going to try baby time inside, and if it gets too crowded, then we'll have to make it registration only. with a max of, we figured, 6 infants and 6 adults, because babies are small. And Cheryl said that's fine with her, when we can keep in touch and pivot as we need to, but nothing big. I have a sign language thing booked for like November, but that's virtual. And we had done one last year. This is a continuation of that. So, and that was very well attended last year. And then maybe 1 or 2 more virtual things, but we think people are mostly over it at this point. Nobody's getting good crowds for virtual programs. So I don't want to just throw money into the void. So we'll see. All right, so that's that. The Friends met on July 19th. They're meeting again this coming Monday, the 16th. They had their blankets and mugs last night. I don't think they sold any, but it's nice for people to see, and you never know when people are going to be like, oh, now I remember that they have a variety of mugs and blankets. Long Range Plan Committee met on July 19th. They are meeting right after this meeting and plugging right along. I will have that long range plan for you approve at your September meeting. That's a plan. I gotta say that out loud. And that's it. They're a great group and they have some really good ideas. June service statistics, we did 34 lobby pickups, 22 home deliveries. July, 31 pickups, 19 home deliveries. I think lobby pickups are on the rise again. We've done 6 so far this week, and it's Wednesday, so I think more people are willing to avail themselves of that. Deliveries remain pretty stagnant with the same people every week, so that's cool. I did that. Any questions on any of that? So total adult programs for last year were 41 and 685 participants. And I didn't actually break that down for you by virtual or in person, but we do have those numbers if you so inquire them.
I think we're okay, Betsy.
The statistics thing threw us for a loop. Okay, let's see. So moving on to our numbers. So you've got a lot of statistics here. You've got your FY21 end of year first up. So actually we had a good year for physical item circulation. It was almost as good as last year. And I attribute that because last year we were like completely closed for a certain period of time.
Right.
Whereas since July 1, 2020, we haven't ever been actually closed. We at least had curbside service. So it was only a little over 1,000 under last year, which I was really surprised when I finally saw that number. So, who knew? And numbers are strong right now. So, that's good. So that's that. And Overdrive was up well over 1,000 from the previous year, which was to be expected because everybody's doing it using their Libby. So a surprisingly strong year for that. So do you have any questions on that before we talk about July?
Let's discuss July.
All right, July was great. So 5,390 physical things, which is a good month for us. That's not our great summer month for us. Like 2019, it would have been like 2,000 higher, but I'm still very pleased with 5,390. That's a lot. And then Libby Overdrive was 955, so right up about 1,000. So that was a good month for us.
Nice.
I'm happy. August is pretty strong so far too. So, all right. And then you've got a lot of money things too. So you've got your FY21 end of years. You should have the gift account maybe and the year-to-date right on top. I don't know which
We
one's
have
it.
gift account next.
Gift account, yep. So gift account was looking pretty good at the end of the year, almost $2,000. So that's healthy, and we've been able to not touch that for anything. So that's nice. And most of the stuff that's been in and out of that is buying books for the PTO, which they just reimburse us, so that's fine. Let's see, and then the FY21 end of year for the general thing, we spent as much money as we could. We had to turn back in a couple $1,000s in part-timer money, which was good, I guess, for the town. So that's fine, though. At least we didn't overspend, which is a fear. I spent that books and periodicals down to 84 cents, which makes me happy. All right, and then the state aid is like many pages long because we spent it in so many little things last year. So when it gets down to page 5. So the end of year balance was $12,217.20, which is good. That's very good. We feel very comfortable with that. We don't have huge aspirations for spending any of it, so we're happy with that. And we were talking about when the next year will come in. It'll come in probably about the end of the calendar year here, because it doesn't show up until like February in our ledger, but we know it's there. So we're not that far off from probably getting another 8-ish grand in there. We don't know what the numbers will be, but they said they're going to be better than they were this year, which has been better than they were previously.
Nice.
Money, yeah. So it's great. The only thing we're planning on spending money-ish soon is the yoga. We're going to have Deb Hudgens back in October because she's all booked up in September, but they're very reasonably priced. So I don't see anything coming down the highway money-wise. Really. Hopefully. Okay.
No major repairs or anything like that that would be covered by this?
No, one of our air conditioners was spitting water, but we think it was just too wet, so it stopped.
Hopefully it'll stop.
It did, yeah. Right, you dried it out or something? What'd you do to it?
I unplugged it and then took a paper towel and soaked up as much excess as I could and then left it there overnight to dry. There was no... I'm really short. Even when I'm standing on our stepladder, I still couldn't be eye level with it. So it was mostly just Matt on one side and me on the other going, do you see a pan that we can take out? No? Okay, then I'm just going to clean.
I appreciate the effort.
Have somebody check the filter to make sure that it's not growing things.
Can we do that from the other side? It's the one on this side, so it's ground level on the other side.
Can I do that from the back?
Oh, I don't know. There's got to be someone around here
Oh,
that
wait,
might
is the
have the
filter
answer.
the thing that when you pop the thing off, it's that?
Yes.
I cleaned
yes.
that. I cleaned that also.
Perfect.
Sorry. Yeah, I did do that.
It's not our forte.
I mean.
So are there any end of FY21 questions before we talk about FY22?
Anyone? Okay, we're good.
All right, so you've got FY22, the general fund is fine. All the wages line items are just about equal, which is excellent. We've already bought a lot of office supplies because I think I bought new ink for the color printer and that blew out a whole bunch of money. 20% on books and periodicals, which is not bad considering we paid for our big beginning of the year purchases. And our CW Mars was actually less than it was supposed to be. There was some money savings in there somewhere, so we have $130 left in there, which I'll probably use to buy ebooks because that goes back into CW Mars immediately. So I was minorly panicked because they give you the number in like October, and then it was different. I was like, why is this less? And they said it was good, and I was like, all right, I'll take it. All right, so state aid for now still is craft supplies and masks, where you're going through a lot of the individually wrapped disposable masks because people aren't bringing them anymore. So, but that's fine. And the price went back up like $6 a box, just killing me. But that's fine. We do what we have to do. We still have a lot of hand sanitizer left from last year when we bought it, so that's good.
Can you leave a donation jar next to the masks?
I don't think that would fly.
Probably not.
It's not something we want to check out and have returned, though.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's that, and so I should give you an update on the preservation assessment grant. We still haven't spent any
yes.
money from the preservation assessment grant, which is why there has never been anything from that. I'm assuming I'm gonna get a bill from the Northeast Document Conservation Center very soon. They sent us their preliminary reports, and we have a wrap-up meeting with them next week. So I'm anticipating a very large invoice from them, so I can pay that. We are working to wrap that up. That grant is done the end of September, so we will definitely have some movement on that money by next month. But other than that, that's all. And I will, once she finalizes that report, I will send you a copy, but it's like 50 pages long, so that's
Wow.
just ours. They did one for the town clerk and for the historical society too, and I know the town clerk's is like 30 pages. I have no idea what the historical society is like this, but probably long. So, and then there was no gift account for now because we haven't spent any money out of the gift account since July 1. So it refuses to print a report.
All right.
Any money questions there?
Questions, anyone?
Not at the moment. Thank you.
And you don't anticipate any big expenditures right now for anything, which is great.
It is, yeah. And since we've been talking so much to the Historical Society, they've got some new bookshelves. They actually took some of our books that we don't want anymore. So we moved some over, like a cartload over before, and we've got, a cart and a half left that they are waiting till they got their bookshelves all set. But it was this Massachusetts Soldiers and Sailors set, which nobody looks at anymore, but they'll have a good home over there. We had actually one set and most of a set, so they took both of those, and they're taking all of our vital records, which were that whole top shelf in the history room. So we have a couple copies of Sutton, which we can have, but other than that, which is mostly what people come in here looking for. And then they're gonna take the rest of those.
Good.
So it's nice. Yes, it's very exciting, and they're thrilled to have those, so our
Excellent.
pleasure.
Do we have a policy on donations of historical books and items and things?
No, and I think that's in our report, is that we should.
Okay.
Because I skimmed it, and they were, talking about stuff that we should, and part of it is that all the stuff that it's in there, and we talked about this with them, is that we don't know what we need. There's gotta be some stuff there that's just not necessary, but I'm not savvy in the ways of that. Shannon is more so because she has her archival training, but she's not necessarily know what this community needs. So they address that.
Good. It's helpful to all of us.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
All right, so if there's no more questions about anything else from me, we're on to our hotspot policy. I brought one so you can see, it's tiny.
And it's it's T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Heather had noticed, because she's got sharp eyes, that there was nothing in here about how much it would cost if somebody lost it. So, which was something I left out intentionally, and I brought up the MBLC it says they prefer that libraries do not charge fines or replacement costs. And that they will replace a reasonable number of lost hotspots, but they don't say what reasonable is. So we can, and then I just came out of a meeting, it was from 2 to 3 today, and they were talking about this, and they amended this slightly since I printed it the other day. They said you can do it, but they don't want it to be cost prohibitive, so $30. And they said, oh, God, I tore that. Oh, no, there it is. So the actual cost of this is about $90, and they each came with a little padded case, which costs about $15. So the actual replacement cost would be about $115 for the whole thing. But they said, well, maybe make it $30, just enough to make people want to bring it back because there's some cost associated with it. So when I replied to Heather in my email, and I said we could leave it as no cost for now, hope they don't get lost for the next year, and then so the service is paid on these through September of next year. So at which point next year, we will have to talk about if we want to continue to pay for the service for these, which would probably be about $30 a month each, and we have 5. So that adds up quick.
But if they're circulated on a very regular basis, it
Right.
might be worth it.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how they start going. They're not ready to go out yet. I can't get 2 of them to do a thing that I need them to do, and we needed a policy, and Pam's got to catalog them, so there was a lot of steps involved in this. But this was necessary to get the policy done before we did any more of that, and then I've got to figure out how to make the other 2 do what I need them to do.
Okay.
Because there's no service downstairs, so I had to take them outside so they can hopefully
Jeez.
get their service. I know Heather saw me sitting outside last week, clutching it, shaking it, going, just do what you need to do. Find a satellite. It didn't work. But, so I don't know if anybody has any strong feelings about the money situation.
I mean, I think that leaving them with no fee just to see how things are gonna go, but then eventually putting a charge on losing them or damaging them or whatever might be a good idea for the very reason that they mentioned. It discourages people from using them as frisbees, et cetera.
Yes. Yeah, well, the nice thing is then if you don't bring it back, I can, from like one of my dashboards that I now have, just turn it off, turn the service off. So then you just have a fancy little paperweight. And you can use it as a frisbee, so, because it won't do anything else.
Okay. Does, when someone borrows it, do they know that if they don't return it, it will get shut off?
We will tell them that. We'll probably laminate a little card and attach it because it'll have to have, tell people how to connect to it and stuff like that, so. And the filtering is still working out because we're supposed to keep them filtered and then turn it off if people want, but it has to be done from the dashboard, which is like linked to, I don't know, there's 2 dashboards, one of which I had to put in my cell phone number because it sends you, do you guys have any of those things where it sends you a code on your cell phone you have to put in the website?
Wow.
It's like, this is more complicated than it seemed like it was going to be at the start. So we have to do it from the dashboard, and it can take a couple hours for T-Mobile to get around to turning off the filtering. So, and the meeting I was just in, they said, well, for people who have a lot, like 20 hotspots, just keep 10 filtered and 10 unfiltered. I was like, well, I don't have 20, I have 5, so.
Keep 1 unfiltered, if that.
Yeah, so, and that would, I think we were gonna, maybe I set one of them up so it goes through our general account. Because then if it has to go like to my cell phone, and other libraries had the question too, like if it has to go to one person's cell phone, what if that person's not there that day? And it was a whole big thing.
And you can't put in a second cell phone number as a backup plan.
I'm not sure. It was there was, like I said, there's 2 different dashboards. It's like one's from T-Mobile and one's from something else. Turned out to be confusing.
So it's complicated.
It is. Nothing free is ever easy, apparently. Should have
course.
remembered that. Yeah. So any changes you guys want to make to this? It feels,
I've read it over a couple of times. It looked good to me.
I have no recommended changes either. I looked at it, read it, thought about it, read it again.
Looks good.
If we're not charging, then it's fine the way it is.
If we decide to add a charge in the future, we can just amend this
yep,
going
like we do to our
forward.
policies all the time, so.
Okay.
Then I'll make a motion to accept it.
I will second that motion. So all those in favor of accepting the hotspot policy as written? Aye. Okay, it is accepted unanimously.
Thank you. And then hopefully within another week or 2, we'll be able to figure out and get them through the rest of our issues and get them out there. I know, like Douglas is already they put theirs out and they just said, we haven't figured out how to turn the filtering off yet, so they're all filtered. So I applaud his methods of just getting them out there quicker. So,
Hopefully by the beginning of September.
oh yeah, yep.
Nice. Will you put a brand new, guess what, notice on the website?
Yeah,
Good.
tiny little things, okay.
All right.
And I think that's all I have.
Does anyone else have any new business?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so we have to set up our next meeting.
Yes. So I was hoping, there's 5 Wednesdays in September. I was hoping, seeing as I promised I'd bring you that long-range plan, that maybe we could shoot for the 4th one?
The 22nd?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have issues with the 22nd? Will that work for everyone?
The moment that will work for me.
Okay. So, Wednesday, the 22nd.
At 3:30.
At 3:30.
Has your new page started, Betsy?
We ended up with 2.
Okay.
They have both started. They're doing good. So, we're getting there.
Are they sharing hours or trading off hours?
They're both doing 6 hours a week for now, and we haven't figured out what's gonna happen when school starts, so we had just scheduled them through like mid-ish of August. And so we'll see what they have with school and their schedules, so. But yeah, the money's holding out good so far, so. That's good. It's nice to have 2 more bodies, hopefully when we need them, although they can't work past 7, so, in the summer.
Okay.
In the school year,
In the school year, I don't remember, there's a lot of rules.
because they can work later in the school year, right?
No,
I mean,
it's
during the
earlier.
summer,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
it's a lot of rules. I had to print it out and tape it next to my desk.
Wow.
No ladders.
But at least they're working out okay and everything is fine
They
right
can't do the
now.
air conditioner then for you.
Yeah, no, they
Come
can't,
inside.
they can't look at the
No.
air conditioner
Well,
for me.
yeah.
Only I can do that. And Matt.
You should have just had Matt. do it.
Yeah. Get
He's
Matt
the
to
one
do
who
it.
brought it up to me, though.
That's true, he's the only one who noticed.
Because he's eye level with it.
Oh, I think we should probably adjourn the meeting at some point, so
I'll make a motion.
I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it is 4:08 and this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.